We were basically the Beatles of our time.
Hello, welcome to Live from 45. You're with me, Chris, Ricky,
Hello.
and James.
Hello.
And today we're going to be discussing music. As this is the first podcast, we're going to give you all a bit of background information about ourselves. So over to you, Ricky.
So I'm studying a PhD at the University of Manchester in Martian science.
All right, mate. No need to show. Fucking hell. All right, James.
I'm not as exciting. Work as a supervisor in a bar and venue.
All right, James. Good. I need to go on, right? Yeah.
Just a bunch of shots. I, Chris, am a social media executive.
Is that it?
Is that all you do, mate?
Yeah.
Sound like you're going to go somewhere else with it.
Yeah. My music taste comes from my parents. I definitely say my dad, he listened to The Clash, The Ramones growing up, Oasis. Wow. Yeah. And from that, my music taste evolved. And in 2006, when indie became a real big thing, I guess that's where everything began for me. White Stripes was one of the first albums I had, and Gorillaz as well.
Fair.
Yeah.
Neither of which I would class as indie.
True.
Fair enough. Though. For me, I was really lucky because my parents bought me a bass guitar when I was about 13 years old. I needed it because our bassist in the band I was in at the time was leaving to America. So 13 years old, nice. And that drama going on here. Our bassist is leaving. We need a new bassist. So originally I was just the singer in the band. Obviously back then you couldn't class it as singing. I sang like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
I still sing like that.
That's one of my most favourite songs there.
What was the band called?
Shadows on the Wall. Because we were so like deep and meaningful.
Yeah.
And believe me, when we shout "Shadows on the Wall" at people, the girls would swoon. They would be like, "Oh my god, it's Shadows on the Wall." We were basically the Beatles of our time. So yeah, I was lucky. My parents got me this bass guitar, and my brother played drums as well. So it meant I could jam with him at home. So I was surprised they got him because they were loud instruments, but not complaining. I'm still playing now, obviously. So that's how I got into music. Really.
Yeah, music you listen to as well. But
so my music really was different than everyone else's I hung out with. So as you know, I'm really into metal and stuff like that. But my parents always listened to music, which I found is not common with a lot of parents. Yeah. But I think with you guys, they do listen to music. But yeah, I remember one of the most iconic moments with music from when I was younger was my dad used to listen to music when he was playing computer games at night time. Okay. Yeah. I remember one time.
What kind of games did he play?
So, well, there's one time my mum put us to bed and me and my brother got up in the middle of the night and went over to watch my dad playing games. And he was playing a game called Quake, which is like a person shooter game. Yeah, it was kind of like Doom, and you'd shoot monsters basically. And he was listening to music like Marvin Gaye while walking around shooting these monsters in the face.
There's a very sexual...
Yeah. I think your dad is a psychopath.
I'm loving it. I think it sounds great.
And that's why I'm very confused now about what sexuality is.
Can't get an erection without listening to Marvin Gaye. The sounds of people dying. So I guess with me, like my mum... I did listen to like lots of music, but I didn't really appreciate it until I was much older. So for me, I kind of discovered my own music taste. There's a guy that I used to go to school with who tried to get me into hip hop, and I just didn't really gel with it at the time. And then I happened to be walking through a market in Coventry and heard this incredible sound, the guitar, drums, just got me. And it was Arctic Monkeys. A bit of good in the dance floor.
Oh, okay.
And then, from that point, I just kind of, but it just like awoke something in me. It sounds so weird, but it did. Just something clicked, and I was like, "This is what I've been looking for. This is what I wanted to listen to." Yeah. So then after that, I just kept finding all these small like indie bands at the time, like the Kooks and
you know those scene in religious films where the light shines down from the heavens. Yeah. That's how I'm imagining you stood in this market street
with Alex Turner dropping
on your
the demo
knees
in my hands.
On his knees,
and people like
that's how I used to make money back then.
Fucking hell, James.
I didn't suck dick in fucking when I was 15.
That's not what I was saying. It was what I was insinuating.
Because that's exactly how I got my pocket money. That was how I discovered music. But then later on, I went from my mum's record collection not that long ago.
Yeah.
I discovered her music taste was incredible. Like the Smiths, the Jam, the Cure. But she didn't really tell me that she liked those kind of bands, which is quite odd, I guess.
Yeah. At the time, did you have the appreciation for it, though? Because I know a lot of people will go against what their parents do just to be against what their parents do.
At the time, my mum didn't really never played that kind of music. She just kind of played like Take That and
like chart stuff.
which I actually do kind of have more of appreciation for now. But there's one band, The Beautiful South, that I actually really did enjoy listening to and kind of has that nostalgia feel for me.
Fair, that's cool.
Similar to you, Ricky, I got into music through learning an instrument. I remember before I picked up a guitar in school, my music teacher came up to me, and this is when you choose your 3 subjects that you want to further study. My music teacher said to me, "Don't pick music. You will never be able to play a musical instrument in your life."
What?
Holy shit!
I know.
What was that based on, though?
I was pretty shit at the recorder.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's
pretty.
Yeah.
So I went and bought a guitar and learnt it, and from there,
I had a friend that had a similar thing where they went to learn guitar and then the teacher shouted at them, so they never picked it up.
Because he just shouted at them.
That's weird. No, that encouraged me to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was starting out, I remember going into a music shop and for the first time picking up an electric guitar, when you go ask them if you can play it.
Yeah.
And it's like this great thing you put on all the distortion and everything.
Yeah.
But because I was learning anew, I only knew 2 things, which was The Importance of Being Idle, by Oasis.
Yeah.
And James Blunt, You're Beautiful. the guy came up to me and went, "What are you playing there, mate?" And I was like, nothing. Anyway, is that James Blunt? Fucking hell.
Did he actually say that?
He walked down the stairs. And I was like, I'm never playing that again.
In fairness, though, he knew the song, so he's just as bad.
He's just as
you
gay
played
as
it well if you managed to guess the song.
Yeah, but I still hear him doing it all the time. Just saying, "You're beautiful."
Just without the guitar, just sings it to himself.
That would have been better, Chris.
By the way, the distortion is still on.
That would have been better if you turned and looked at him. Just start going, "You're beautiful." Obviously, the people you hang out with have a big influence on what music you listen to. So, at school, did you guys listen to the music your friends listened to or not?
Yeah, to a certain degree, but not massively. I mean, people in school are still developing their own music taste and it changes all the time.
See, for me, like when I started listening to Arctic Monkeys, I then made friends with people that listened to them as well.
Okay, fair.
We kind of like share bands and stuff. And the group of friends that I made that I'm still friends with now is because of that, the music that we like, and we still go to festivals and stuff.
The Arctic Monkeys brought you all together.
Basically, yeah, the Arctic Monkeys fan club. I used to spend a lot of time with my friends listening to music, and one of my friends, we used to go around to his house all the time.
Yeah.
And we play random songs. I think we used to listen to, we used to do this thing called the 30-second challenge.
Okay.
Where you put on a song and you had 30 seconds to shower for that song.
What?
Yeah, it's like really weird.
You and your friends, crazy.
And then we touch each other.
Surely should have done the other way around.
That's got nothing to do with the challenge.
It's a bit of fun and games. And it would just be for like, you put a song, like everyone pick a short song.
Yeah.
And whoever got the shortest song, you had that amount of time to like shower.
But surely you would know how long your song was.
But then if you didn't like do it in enough time, there was like a switch on the outside which make the shower go cold.
Okay.
So then you'd lose. It's a weird game.
This is weird.
No, I feel like people were doing it at these parties and everything now. Yeah, we should patent that game.
We should. The shower challenge.
What did you call it?
The shower challenge. Yeah.
You guys didn't have a very challenging life, did you? If that counts as a challenge to you.
We used to bored. We do weird things. And then I always remember we used to listen to Foles in my friend's room as well. And he had a really low ceiling, and I'm quite tall. And we used to punch the ceiling, listening to Foles.
Why?
Just because we could. We just felt like it.
Well,
weird shit.
Actually, the other night you brought a girl back, and I could hear you punching the ceiling. But there was no Foles playing.
Oh, there's no girl either. It's just me on my, with my girlish curl.
Listening to Foles, My Number.
And there wasn't a music playing either.
Oh, right. Just the silent.
And I've got really high ceilings.
That question actually leaves more questions unanswered than anything.
That's why I'm a big enigma.
I think because of my music taste, because it's like metal and stuff like that, I very rarely meet people who are into the same music as me. So at school, my music was far from anything my friends listened to. But it was funny because we'd all hang out in my house, so I had full reign over what the music we'd listen to. So I just put System of a Down on the whole time. And people are like, Ricky, your music is shit.
Why do we keep coming here? It's on all the time.
And I just be like, yeah, it is shit, but it's my
You
house.
will like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get the fuck out, Greg.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who's Greg? Why is he?
I actually do have a best friend called Greg.
Do you?
Yeah, he was the drummer in the band I played
Wow.
at school with.
Shadows in the Wall.
Did not actually know that.
Yeah, I wanted him to leave to America, but he wouldn't go.
I think if we keep saying Shadows in the Wall, hopefully we can get a reunion tour.
Well, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
You have to pay us royalties every time you mention our name.
That's the only thing you did. You released no music, but you copyrighted
The name Shadows on the Wall. Yeah. But yeah, so for my friends, they didn't listen to the same music as me. So it means that I wasn't really influenced by other people's music, which is, I guess, maybe slightly surprising. But it meant when I met someone who did have the same music taste in me, I would be like, whoa, this is amazing. I finally met someone who has a similar music taste to me.
I still find that slightly in the sense that obviously indie music is quite like a big genre.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people like it, but there's certain bands that only I know few people that like them and stuff.
It's because you're such a hipster.
I'm
James.
such a
That's
hipster.
why.
If only two people have heard of them, then I don't want to know about it.
Somehow
Only one
you'll have
person
like
knows
the
about it.
recordings of them playing in the like garage. Somehow you'll have that.
Yes, somehow. I find it before they even know they're in a band.
Yeah. You hear their songs before they've written
I walk
them.
into music shops and find kids playing "You're Beautiful" on guitar.
Call them a twat. Oh dear. One big thing for me though that kept me in music was when I went to one of our first gigs we played. So I must have been 14. We were shit, like really shit. And the lady who was there organising the night came up to me afterwards though, and she went, "You got a really powerful voice. You should keep on practicing." And obviously I didn't really have a powerful voice, but it really influeed me to carry on going as I got older. And even now I still obviously think about it. So
Yeah, that's nice though. I mean, we've all played gigs right in some capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite like interesting. Not many people get to do that. Some people want to. I mean, I played bass. I wouldn't say necessarily that wild, but I've been in bands. I remember one of my first gigs we ever played was in this small like bar in Coventry, and we were kind of practicing like a couple of weeks, and then the singer in the band went, "All right, I've got us a gig."
Yeah,
and we were like, "We're not ready.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Why have you done this? We're not ready. We need more time." But no, it's fine. We'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We've only got 2 songs. It's like, all right, the rest will have to be covers. Okay, well, what should we cover? It's like, oh, should we do something
James
simple?
Blunt, You're Beautiful.
You're beautiful. Like, over and over. Let's do it twice. Once we start, once we finish. Again for the encore. And she was like, oh, should we do like the Kinks, like the undertone, something easy? No. Let's do a cover of Akon, Smack That. And Dr. Dre the next episode.
Did you actually
We did,
do
yeah.
that?
But then the singer didn't want to sing the Akon lyrics, so it just became 2 instrumentals because he thought he might get in trouble for hate crime.
Oh, that's funny. Wow.
What were you guys called as a band?
Okay, so it's a really shit band name.
Okay.
It's called Norse Saga.
Norse.
Norse, is it like the Norse
Nordic
gods?
dog,
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah.
Nordic gods.
That'd be a better name, Nordic dogs.
would be a great name, yeah.
Yes, it's in a band called Norse Saga, and then later on I was in a grunge band called Seasons Die,
Wow.
who are now called Kirikai, who are still going.
They're still
actually.
together?
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah, they're
wow.
still going. Yeah.
That's cool.
Fair.
I
Oh,
can
yeah,
beat
wheels.
both of you guys about
okay.
band names.
You got that.
So there's one thing you should never do is allow your bandmates to pick the band name while you're not there.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, you go for it. I'm happy with whatever you pick.
Yeah.
I know you'll pick something good. The best thing, the best thing they could come up with was, and I'm not joking. This is what Neil, your room is on fire.
Why?
Who was Neil? Which one was Neil?
No, none of us were called Neil.
Neil died in the fire. That's right.
Was that something they used to say a lot? Is it a famous
just
catchphrase?
Very specific, too long and weird.
Too long.
Why is it on fire? I don't know. Too many questions are raised.
Did you play as a band under that name? Then?
No, I quit. they told me, and I was like, "Yep, see it." The second band I was in was called Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto.
Yeah, that's a Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I asked them why, and they're like, "It's a Jedi."
I was gonna say it's quite a cool name.
Yeah.
What kind of music was
So that was indie pop,
Yeah.
acousticy, quite cool.
Because sometimes the name of the band kind of dictates what
Yeah.
you can play.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Dragon Force, they have to play that genre of music, and System of a Down have to play heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
It was like Seasons Die. We were like a grunge band. 'cause
Exactly,
We needed to have that kind of. I think
Yeah.
we chose that name because we wanted something that kind of summed up the scene that we
Yeah,
were in.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was interesting about that band is that we were too heavy for the indie bands and not heavy enough for the metal bands.
Oh, what you
So
mean
it's a
when you
really
were
weird
trying to get
tour-
gigs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So it's a
yeah.
really weird
Yeah.
place like to be in between.
Do you think you could have a band that does the opposite of that? A band name?
As in their name doesn't relate in any way to their music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it becomes a
Nirvana?
problem though. Well, yeah. Nirvana though was ironic, wasn't it? It was a brilliant
Yeah.
name, absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant name. Yeah. But I guess in the sense because it's grunge,
Yeah.
their name being ironic works really
I
well.
think with names though, it's like after a while, whatever you do becomes synonymous with it anyway. So
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
I mean,
So what
like-
makes a good band name?
That's such like a hard question.
It is.
Because a lot of the time they're just ridiculous words or statements
Yeah.
that just happen to mean something because of the band.
Yeah,
I mean, like
yeah.
Arctic Monkeys.
See, to me,
Yeah.
that's a terrible name,
Yeah.
but
They hated it as well,
because they're famous,
Yeah.
it works so
Yeah.
well. And also, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think that's an awful name.
Yeah.
But it's synonymous, with their music now. So yeah, I guess you're right. The music is genred under the name of the band, basically.
Because we only think of like the Beatles being like that kind of music because there was other bands around the time like the Hollies and stuff that had those similar kind of names. So that
Okay.
kind of worked in that
Yeah,
respect.
yeah.
But then like the Rolling Stones, they would call that because of Muddy Waters and like they're really influenced by like,
Okay.
R&B and stuff.
Yeah.
So that kind of is a little bit different to the sound they went into anyway.
Fair enough. Yeah. Did you guys get paid for the gigs you did?
We got paid in beer.
Okay, fair enough.
That's better than me because I didn't get paid.
Because you left the band.
Yeah.
I
I took everything with me though.
we had one gig where which was in like quite a big club in Coventry called the Casbah, where we had to
the
sell.
Casbah.
Yeah, with the Clash we're playing. We had to like sell our own tickets.
Yeah.
But we didn't sell that many. But we didn't. The guy had a massive go at us because we didn't think we needed to.
Okay.
You didn't think you needed to sell them?
Well, no, as in like we were supporting a band. It wasn't like our headline show. We just thought like we'd try and sell them if we could.
if you could.
Yeah, but he was like, you needed to sell this merch.
Yeah.
And
Well, he makes commission from it, and that's why
Yeah.
I'd be annoyed.
It was just kind of like hard to tell. But it means did you get paid?
Yeah, the most I ever got paid was, we played at the Academy 3 in Manchester, which isn't bad.
No, it's good.
And we sold 80 tickets, which is not bad, you think about
yeah.
it. Like, it took a lot of hard work to sell them. And they were to people we knew or friends of a friend. Which is basically bad because you don't actually make a wider audience, you know what I mean? You're just people you already know.
Yeah, see, that's my problem with gigs like that. When you're given this opportunity to play somewhere like Academy 3s and stuff, you are just going to have to go to the audience that you've got at the time, which usually will be your friends. It's not
exactly.
going to
Yeah.
be that wide.
Yeah.
I mean, did you have any, obviously, probably not, but have you have any like people from labels or anything?
Not that I know of, or they didn't make us aware of their appearance.
So you'll just see a guy stood in the suit at the back,
Shaking his head, yeah.
What is this?
This will
noise?
never work. Yeah.
How much did you get
It's
paid?
Chinese for a start.
So we got paid like 100 quid, I think, for that.
Each.
No, between the
Yeah.
three of us. I've only ever been in 3 pieces because you get a
Yeah.
bigger cut. I mean, we got the choice: either make better music with another person in the band,
Yeah.
or make more money.
Exactly.
You know, an extra like 3 quid.
That's
on
about
top.
100 quid. Do you know how much the Libertines got paid to reform for Red and Leeds?
How much?
£250,000 each.
Wow.
Wow.
How many of them are in the band?
4.
See, if there were 3 piece.
Get rid of the guitarist. Yeah.
Someone should have told them.
What's interesting now is that a lot of bands don't necessarily have to gig as much when they start off.
Okay.
I believe, from what I've seen, like back in the day, you'd have
Oh,
to
you mean as in order to get yourself known?
recognised. Yeah, to fly, like you'd have back in the day, you'd have to gig, like have an A&R, like label representative come and watch you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then try and get a deal that way. Whereas now, I guess a lot of people probably look at social media presence and YouTube to actually find bands that way, rather than, because I doubt you find labels at gigs.
Well, for instance, I know this isn't a band, or some people would argue it isn't an artist, but Justin Bieber was discovered just over YouTube, wasn't he?
Of course, yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
By Usher, right?
Yeah.
And then Usher adopted him,
Yeah.
which is weird because normally white people adopt black people.
It's a great change, right? Quality. Yeah, but that is what's interesting, just how kind of technology has changed the way that like the music industry is doing things itself. But you still need to make money from gigging, because that's where, for like bands anyway, where the money comes from.
Is that because of streaming and stuff like that now?
Yeah, like it's interesting. The band, the Maccabees, they've just split up.
Okay.
They've just done their farewell tour, even though they had, I think, a #1 album last year.
Okay.
Their 4th album.
Yeah.
But you actually don't make that much money from
selling.
Yeah, I think it's 150 plays on Spotify or like a streaming service contributes to 1 place in the chart. That's like to
Okay.
register the
Right.
chart.
It's good they do that, but
Yeah,
it's a bit crazy.
But then also that money won't go like to them, or be split with the label. Like all this
Exactly. Yeah.
other, like,
I
you've
didn't
got to
think
pay.
about that.
Whereas with gigging, most of the money will go to them.
Yeah.
Say apart from the crew and stuff as well.
Well, I personally, I love gigging. Like, that's one of the reasons I love playing in a band. Obviously, it's very different for me because we feel honoured when we get to play somewhere.
Yeah.
Whereas it's the other way around when you become famous, really, is in like people want you to play at their venue. So it surprises me when bands don't want to gig.
I
Yeah.
know what you mean. Yeah, Bon Iver, he's someone that just doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot sometimes
Rightly
people
so. Yeah.
invest so much in like the album and crafting that they don't necessarily want to show it, like put it out there. It's so personal to them sometimes.
Yeah, and also I think sometimes people don't want to be famous.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They want to be
Which
an
is-
artist that let people hear their music. Like John Frusciante from the
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, he left because he didn't like being famous.
Yeah.
Like he loved making music, but he didn't enjoy the fame behind it.
And a lot of them, just because you're incredibly talented doesn't mean you can deal with the nerves. Like Adele,
That's true. Yeah.
like she like incredibly bad nerves, like
Yeah.
anxiety going on
Really?
stage.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's like really bad. She always like
How did
gotten
she
a lot
overcome it?
better.
Oh.
I think she just kind of had to get over it. Just
Okay.
Yeah.
because obviously there is a money factor, because you are going to make a lot of money by selling upwards of £100.
Tickets, yeah. Somewhere, like really high bands can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Metallica probably make about 100 quid per show. You know?
Just £100. But yeah, like you're selling £100 a ticket. That's like you're gonna be like, okay, the money, the label are gonna push you to play live.
Yeah.
But then also the fans, you do want to experience live music. Is one of the best things like I experienced.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Although, do you find sometimes you've seen bands where you've been really, really let down by their like live performance?
Well, I think you feel deceived to an extent when you see a band live and they're not what they sound like on their album. So, for instance, I love System of a Down, as I said, but I've recently seen videos of them playing live this year, 2017, and Serge just doesn't sound like he does on the albums anymore. And I get they're getting older now and stuff like that, but it does. I think it makes you sad. And it also makes you feel a bit peeved off because you feel like there's some kind of backstage trickery going on when they're recording the album.
Do you remember, James, when we went to see Django Django? And I really like this band. They released 2 albums. I thought they're great. But once I heard them live, you couldn't tell the difference between the songs off the first album and the second album, as though they're exactly the same. Nothing had changed.
Okay.
It was just repetitive and boring, and no one was enjoying it.
And the problem was, it sounded like the album. It sounded like you were listening to the
Yeah,
album. There
album,
wasn't
okay.
enough
with
in
no
it.
communication or them just chatting. Yeah, it was
the,
weird.
The stage presence wasn't like that
No.
great, and that is another issue. Sometimes you can sound too much like the album.
Yeah, I get it.
Now I
Yeah.
can't listen to them, which is crazy.
That's
to
kind of
think
an
that your
extreme
music
case.
would have
Yeah.
that effect on people.
Well, and it's also strange that because that's the opposite effect they'd want to have. They'd
Yeah.
want someone to come to the gig and then want to hear more of their stuff.
Yeah, but I haven't listened to them since.
Yeah.
So I sometimes like going to like gigs. If I've seen a band, like if they've released a new album and they're touring off the back of it, I might not listen to that album that much until I've seen them live.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I think it can take on a new aspect for me.
Yeah, I get what you mean there. Definitely. Yeah.
My favourite venue in the whole of Manchester is Deaf Institute. And for those of you who don't know what Deaf Institute is, it's a music venue in Manchester. It's a really small room, very
Everyone's
small
deaf.
stage.
Where it's music for deaf people.
Every time I go there, there's a band playing, not huge, but because it's so small and so close, it's just so much
Intimate. It's an
Yeah,
intimate environment.
intimate
Yeah.
energy, and you can actually get up close to the
It's
musicians.
real
and
vibey, isn't it?
Make them
Real
uncomfortable.
Play another song.
You're shit.
We haven't even started yet.
Chris just shouting "you shit" at this band, and then turning around going, "Oh, it's so vibey in here. Yeah, it's so vibey."
These guys are great.
Yeah.
See, my favourite venue in Manchester, if we're going around this way, is Albert Hall,
Okay.
which is owned by the same company that own Deaf Institute.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it's like a much bigger venue, something like an old like church.
You always got to outdo Chris, don't
I
you?
do, I do.
It's a bigger
Every
venue.
time.
Yeah.
It's vibier.
Yeah, it's more vibes.
You can stand far back and shout at people. But like it's an old church, and it just changes the way that you see a band sometimes.
Yeah.
Like certain bands work really well there. Certain bands maybe not as much, but it can just elevate it so much. The settings that you play can mean so much. And
That's
I think
true.
we're talking about Bon Iver, that I think we were talking about he doesn't tour as much. Like the place he picks are quite obscure.
Yeah.
And I think that might be because he picks the venues rather than just trying to do a tour.
Exactly. Yeah, I get what you mean.
generally.
Yeah.
Because one of don't want to slag anyone off, but I'm going to. A venue that I don't like in Manchester is Manchester Academy,
Okay.
because I find that it's just
Because I played in Academy 3.
Exactly,
Now you
yeah.
fucking hate it.
no,
Yeah.
Academy 3 is great,
Mate,
but-
someone shouted at us, "You're shit," and then I heard him turn around and go, "It's vibey in here. It's really vibey."
Well, let's go to Deaf Institute. My problem with the Academy is that it's just too big and there's not much personality to it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's just a big room.
Yeah, it's
isn't
like,
it?
being in a hangar. It's
Yeah.
like, that's okay. Like, but
Yeah.
you just kind of lose something from that kind of quality.
So you're saying that the vibe. Sorry, I keep on saying that
Vibe.
word, but the feeling you get at the venue changes how you feel about the gig itself.
Yeah.
Do you think artists therefore change their set list for what venue they're going to be playing at? So, like for a festival compared to a big gig venue, they must change what set they're going to play. Surely.
I'm not sure. Well, I guess it's all subjective to the band
Yeah.
and what they want to do. But in most cases, I've seen people search set lists from the gig the night before in Birmingham.
Yeah, and it'd be
And it's
exactly
the exact same.
Yeah.
Most bands will do a tour, like a set list
For the
like,
tour.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas other bands will do, like Block Party do a different set every day.
Oh,
Which I
okay.
think is really interesting.
Yeah.
And they also will play different songs for festivals, because I remember seeing an interview with Kelly where he said that they'll only play So Here We Are in festivals usually.
Because it's a festival-y song. Yeah, I get
exactly.
it, yeah.
So they do kind of take that into consideration, what kind of crowd they've got as well. I think if they've got like a really intense, fiery crowd, they'll play the heavier songs.
Oh, yeah,
if
fair
it's a
enough.
crowd that's a bit more subdued, they
That's
might play
good.
the
That's
quieter
clever. Yeah, that they
songs.
can work like that as well. I have to admit, I do think it's good that they do that. They change their set list each time they play. But at the same time, I can see a problem with it. And that being, you might go to a gig the day before and they not play the songs you want them to play. And then the next day they play the songs you'd want to hear.
But I find
So
that
it's not the same experience for
Yeah.
each audience.
Yeah, but I like that aspect a bit, because
Yeah.
I kind of, if I see a band live, sometimes I like it that much that I might want to see them again on the same tour, but I wouldn't necessarily want to see the same set list.
Yeah,
Whereas
fair
if I
enough,
get
yeah.
another, I can go again and go, oh, this is completely different. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the weirdest gig you guys have been to?
Have you got one that you've? Because it's going to take me a minute to think of it.
Well, do you remember when we went to see the Pizza Underground?
Oh yeah. For those at home that don't know who the Pizza Underground are,
I feel like everyone will know.
It is a Velvet Underground cover band about pizzas. with Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone
Yeah.
You're joking.
on percussion. Yeah.
As a grown man.
Yeah.
Which
As
is-
a grown man, not as a child.
Like
He's not regressed in age.
He still just tricks people though.
So
He just stands on stage.
this has never happened to me before. I've never gone to a gig and that band has been booed off stage.
Did they actually?
They got booed off. So in between every song,
Yeah.
they were stopping the music and telling pizza related jokes.
Incredible. It was
And
great.
someone threw something on stage. I think
Was it a
one of
pizza?
them- It was a 12-inch margarita.
And they only wanted 16-inch pizzas. They were furious. And well, those people were like, so it was part of a festival, Dot to Dot Festival. And obviously the fact that Macaulay Culkin was there meant that a lot of people just went for that.
That's
kind of
just see him.
experience.
Yeah.
And it did mean there were a lot of dickheads there.
Okay.
And in between every song, people were shouting Kevin, which is his character from Home Alone. Kevin! In case you don't know what it sounds like when someone shouts the word Kevin.
Now they know.
Exactly. Like it's like they were there.
Yeah.
And then they're on stage, the band were playing pizza related things. They played like pizza boxes.
Yeah.
Because there was a Domino's across the road
Yeah.
to the venue, which worked out perfectly.
They sponsored it.
And they played pizza boxes and played such songs as Instead of Waiting for the Man by Velvet Underground, Waiting for the Delivery Man.
So it's not even clever.
Yeah, not even
Not even
clever.
clever.
Yeah.
Waiting for my pizza.
How long did it take them to play the song? 45 minutes.
They had to prepare it, to make sure it's got the quality control. And Macaulay Culkin stood there. He's playing like kazoo and like a few like kind of percussion instruments. And someone threw something at the stage. We got a bit annoyed. And then I think it was their last song. Someone went to like jump on stage and grab him. And he just went, fuck this. And just went off.
Fair
Which is,
enough.
I think, is understandable. And I remember we went with like me, Chris, and our other friend, Jerome, who
Our manager.
our manager,
The podcast
our
manager.
sound guy.
Yeah.
Shout
sound
out to
engineer.
Jerome in the house.
Jerome writes the scripts for all of these podcasts.
Are the levels all right? Yeah, we've got a thumbs
I can
up.
see you looking at me, Jerome.
Got a thumbs up from Jerome on the levels. And I don't know about you, what you thought about it, Chris, but Jerome was very upset at the show. He just said it was shit. Didn't like it. Whereas I, being an art student at the time, quite liked it as a performance. I thought it was like a great performance piece.
I didn't enjoy it and I wouldn't recommend it, but I wanted it to carry on.
Yeah, fair
You
enough.
know.
Yeah.
It was like watching a car crash happen in front of you.
Did people clap after they played the songs, or was it just like
No, they
nothing?
booed.
Really?
People booed. Just people didn't know what they were watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
And I
enough.
think it was from this, like, I think he lives in New York now, and it was this kind of weird, wanky, pretentious New York idea of something.
enough.
And I think when they brought it to a British audience, it wasn't.
It didn't
exactly-
work, yeah. So people were like, boo! It's vibey in here.
I saw Tame Impala last year. One of my favourite bands. Love them. Amazing. And I was with a girl at the gig who's a friend. Ooh, friends. And I remember her turning to me and going, "Oh, someone spilled a drink on my jacket." And I was like, "Ah, fuck." She's like, "Feel it." And I was like, "Okay." Went to smell it to see what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah, someone had been fucking sick on a jacket.
Oh, no!
But yeah.
I thought you were going to say it was
Piss.
piss.
No,
Oh,
even worse.
shit. Oh, man.
That is how you don't start a gig.
gig,
It's horrible. Yeah,
That is horrible.
Yeah.
that is the problem with gigs. I mean, I've been to quite a few where my like with my cousins.
Mm.
I went to one in Coventry, the Enemy, and my cousin got pissed all down her leg.
Or someone pissed on her.
She pissed herself. Yeah, no,
Oh,
she-
shit.
no, someone pissed on her leg.
Surely you know someone was pissing. Oh, did she
It
move?
feels like I think it
Or
was
did
like,
she embrace it?
I think it was one of those where they put it in a cup and then
And
spill
put
it
it-
on. Or you don't always know.
Yeah.
Like, so many people
You
around.
know,
Why?
people
That's
piss
weird.
into like the bottles there.
Yeah.
I don't have that accuracy with my penis.
Yeah, mine doesn't fit.
Like, I don't think they put it in like a hose, James. So feed it into the bottle.
Right in. Mine's got too much space.
It's weird though because the toilets are 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Although when
if you're in
you've
like
got
the
a good
middle of the
spot.
crowd, you
Yeah.
kind of you've got your spot.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
know
mean, we've
it-
all done it at festivals.
What, pissed on someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the place for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go
Why
in the
do
showers.
we go to festivals?
And yeah, no, festivals is the place where people tend to throw piss a lot as well.
Yeah.
Which is quite horrible.
We've been talking about piss for quite a while.
Quite a long time.
It's a bit weird.
Well, speaking of festivals, have you guys been to loads of festivals?
I've been to a few. I definitely haven't been to as many as you guys have. Like I've been to Glastonbury, Leeds Festival, Parklife.
the best ones.
Yeah.
I really need to go to Download because that's what my music taste is.
Why haven't you been?
I just never had anyone to go with.
See, that's funny because I've been to Download twice.
What?
Yeah, it's like, so I've been to festivals every year since I was 16.
Ooh, get me.
So about 9 years now, show my age.
Oh.
And
You don't look a day over 25, James.
good. Yeah, so like first, like, because I was really into that kind of music. I've tried to pretend I'm really indie. But now, like, I love, like, emo, I say emo, like, brand new pop punk.
Okay,
Like, rock. Deftones are still one of my favourite bands. One of the best bands I've seen
fan.
live as well, actually.
You, me at 6.
Yeah, always. Can't not get enough You Me 6. I actually did see them at Download.
really?
So I went to Download 2 years in a row. And the first year, it's the second year actually, we'll go first. I saw Slipknot
Wow.
headlining.
It must have been incredible.
It was
Yeah.
an incredible show. Motley Crue, which was great. You Me 6 were at that point as well. And at Shikari. And I got my wallet robbed and at Shikari.
What do you expect?
I was really annoyed.
Shikari going.
Well, yeah, but it was like great. Like, it was really good. Everyone was going crazy, like jumping in the air. And I lost my wallet. And I was like, I see if someone's handed it in to like Lost and Found. And they'd handed my wallet in.
No way.
But they'd taken all the cash out of it, obviously. And all that was left was a solitary condom.
Oh, wow.
Which you didn't actually have there in the first
They
place.
left it there.
They'd used it. They'd used it and put it back in.
Not again.
And then the first year I went to Download, the lineup was, the headliners were The Offspring,
Yeah.
Kiss,
Wow.
who
Wow.
were like
Yeah.
actually incredible.
Wow.
Like, even though Gene Simmons can be a bit of a wanker, because I don't know if you know this, he's trying to copyright or patent the Devil Horns
What?
side at the moment. Yeah, he's
So
a
what?
wanker.
People would have to pay for it?
if they used it, because he's not got a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, now, he doesn't.
Yeah, and be an incredible show. Like, just they put on such, they had all them like makeup on, the suits, and then Paul Stanley flew effectively on like obviously not in real life on road from the stage into like a podium in the middle. For
No, I think he does do that.
actually flies.
Yeah, he actually flies. Yeah.
He's managed to work it out.
He did that before he joined the band.
No, like, well, we should put this to good use.
Yeah,
now that we know
exactly.
that you
Yeah.
can do
He's like,
it.
I have no purpose for this.
Get down from there, Paul.
Yeah.
And then the other headliner were a little band kind of fallen from grace called Lost Prophets.
Oh my god.
They headlined Download Festival.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's really fucked up? I've actually seen them quite a few times, and I was young at the time. And it kind of offends me because I was there, and I swear the lead singer didn't look at me once. Like,
What a bastard.
and he didn't succumb to my advances, so it really lowered my self-esteem.
Fucking hell. But yeah, so then after that, went from Download, did Leeds, Latitude. Me and Chris went to Nos Alive in Portugal,
Okay, cool.
which is a great festival. I think European festivals are a good way forward as well.
Very different.
Yeah,
festivals
it is
over
very
here.
different.
In what aspect?
I don't know if that's just because subconsciously I'm thinking no one around me is English.
Yeah,
But it,
And you were speaking maybe Portuguese.
yeah.
which
Would have been a bit of just saying that to people. They don't know what's happening.
That didn't sound anything like Portugal.
Exactly. That's
That
why
sounded
it's
like
working.
if you were trying to be racist towards Italians. Boobity bobbity.
That is my favourite kind of racism. It was a weird festival, I think, because as well
it was a great festival,
Oh, no,
but
it
it was
was,
different
yeah.
to
It's a weird vibe.
yeah.
Weird vibes. And we didn't camp either. We used like an Airbnb.
Okay.
So it kind of takes away
To
from the
me, I'm going to sound like an old man here, but that is ideal for me.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I won't say it's
Yeah.
the way forward as well. It's only that festival was like €90.
Oh, wow.
Really?
It's so cheap.
Yeah.
The
How
whole
many
thing.
days?
3.
And you know,
And
it's 83 pence to the euro at the moment.
Tame
guys,
Impala,
so it's a
Falls,
bargain.
Arcade Fire,
Radiohead.
Wow.
Radiohead, Wolf Alice.
You couldn't even hide the disdain for Radiohead.
And,
Your voice-
yeah, he sounded angry when
Yeah,
you said
I'm not a huge fan of Radiohead.
Yeah.
They, yeah.
So I loved it. I thought it was, but music's subjective, so it's
It's
fine.
because we just listened to Tame Foals and then Tame Impala.
And then Radiohead, isn't it?
After each other.
Yeah.
And then Radiohead, so it built up to this huge climax, and then it was like, oh,
I think the interesting thing about Radiohead as well is like talking about band set lists and how they kind of engineer them towards festivals and the crowds they watch. Radiohead don't do that at all. Yeah. They don't play for like the common person. They play for themselves and for Radiohead fans. Yeah. So they released a new album, Moonshaped Pool, and they just played a lot of tracks off that. Yeah. And then eventually finished with Creep and Karma.
Yeah, so everyone had to stay there just for the one song they know, and they played it at the end.
And they actually did
like a reward for actually listening to it.
I actually haven't played that song for like 12 years, so it was kind of lucky. You could go to a radio.
I went and sat down and had a sandwich.
James, you say lucky, but that's like saying, oh, he hasn't killed anyone for 4 years, and then he killed you. You're lucky that he did that.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. I've noticed that with some bands, though, like Radiohead, they have die-hard fans.
Yeah.
And I was at Leeds Festival years ago, and Radiohead were coming on, and I was leaving the crowd because I didn't want to see Radiohead. I'm just not into them. And someone stopped me as I was leaving. He went, "Where are you going? Radiohead's about to come on." And I was like, "I'm just moving closer to the back. That's all." And he was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
And then you ran.
Yeah.
Why did Tom York touch me?
Yeah.
You should be on stage.
We're about to play. Where are you going?
Where are you going, Ricky?
That was a good impression of him.
What did you think of Glastonbury, Ricky?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The thing was, with Glastonbury, people had really hyped it up for me.
Like me.
So I think it could never live up to the expectations that I had, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was as though, like, you know, when people go traveling and they say, oh, you're going to find yourself and become a different person. I felt like that was what was supposed to happen when I went to Glastonbury. Yeah. And I came back and I was just more of a dick than when I went. So maybe I did find myself and he's just a twat.
Yeah. And you're just like, no.
Who just happens to wear flowers in his hair.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I did do Glitterbeard, though. That was a highlight.
Everyone was wearing glitter this year.
Yeah.
Glitterbeard's the best.
Yeah.
Have you seen that glitter booty thing that's going on at the moment?
No. Oh, wait, no, I have.
Girls put glitter on their arse, like, rather than wearing clothes or something.
Oh, well, okay. I thought you just meant like they put glitter on their ass and then put like trousers on.
Yeah, that's what they just cover it up. It's just so they can feel uncomfortable.
No, they just want to feel close to a glitter.
No, they cover their arse in glitter. I was doing research for the podcast. That's how I found this.
We've got an episode coming up on it. That's what's happening.
I'm going to do it.
Glitter arse review.
My hairy arse. It'll look like a glitter beard still.
Jesus Christ, that's horrible. Image.
Did you actually see anyone do that at Glastonbury?
No.
I saw glitter tits at Glastonbury.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How's she doing?
She's great. It's classic glitter tits.
Wasn't like fully out?
Yeah, like just glitter, like just instead of like a bra or anything.
Well, we were.
You see, what I love about Glastonbury is it's just so different to any other festival you go to. They put so much effort into what goes on in the evening once the acts are finished. Like some of the bars, for example, there was one called Heaven, and you have to give a reason why you should be allowed to enter Heaven.
Oh, that's quite clever.
Which it's great.
Yeah, so it's Shangri-La, which changes its like theme like every year, which is quite nice. Like a good way of doing it. It can be difficult with how busy it is and stuff. I mean, some people go and don't even watch bands at Glastonbury. They go just for the
other thing,
experience. But there is so much that's happening. You can just kind of wander off, take mind-altering drugs, and maybe find yourself. And maybe it is a twat. That's fine. You can live with that. And the thing with Glastonbury I find really interesting is that they don't pay the bands that much.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So like I said, Libertine's got 250,000 each for Ren Leeds. I don't know the amount they pay them at Glastonbury, but it's a lot less.
Okay.
Because they don't make as much money from it.
Okay.
So Glastonbury, like Michael and Emily Evis, actually don't make any money. They give most of it to charity. Pay the bands. And if you think they've got like hundreds of stages, even from the smallest to the biggest, they need to book all these acts and sort that out. So you just don't really pay them as much. Some people find it quite frustrating.
Yeah. But I guess at the end of the day, if they're going to give the money to charity, it's a commendable thing to do. So.
Yeah, and also if you're playing on the pyramid stage, if you're headlining, then your album sales are most likely to go up.
Yeah, so I was going to say that. It's like, say if I was in a band and they said you can play on the pyramid stage,
Yeah.
main stage Glastonbury, but I'm not going to pay you anything.
Yeah.
I would still do it because the amount of people who will see you, and as you said, your album sales are definitely going to go up.
And it's got a reputation for being like one of the greatest festivals in the world. So people will always like tune in to like watch it. But there has been a bit of contention because Fleetwood Mac are the band that people really want to see.
Yeah.
I really want to see.
I'd love to see them.
Yeah, I would as well. Yeah.
I mean, because when you see him Fleetwood Mac anyway, you're paying like from £60, I think is the minimum, like, and that's like in the heavens.
Yeah.
Up to like probably 200 quid, even more.
Wow. So
people want to see them at Glastonbury because you kind of do get a bag, and you pay £200 for a ticket. You see all these bands.
Yeah.
But Fleetwood Mac have never played, and they played Isle of Wight the year people thought they were going to play Glastonbury because they paid them like £1 million.
Oh, that's...
Do you remember when we saw Kanye West, James?
I do.
Glastonbury.
One of
Glastonbury.
the greatest moments of my life.
I would probably never pay to see Kanye West.
Yeah.
But going to Glastonbury, I had the chance, and you're right. You kind of get to see these people and acts that you wouldn't usually
normally see.
And even, like, what Glastonbury is really good for is having this Sunday slot where they do they get like an old legend in. So the 3 years I've been, so it was Dolly Parton the first year.
Wow.
Lionel Richie the other year, which was great.
I did
then
watch some.
This year was Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees.
Oh.
Which I didn't actually watch, but the year before was like ELO, Electrolyte Culture. Like they'd get really great people in, and you'd be paying loads to see.
See them normally. Yeah.
What do you think about Jeremy Corbyn headlining Glastonbury, James?
Well, he played his classic set, "Sweet Child of Mine," for the many, not the few. But big hits.
That's the only thing is, he just plays the hits now.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a festival.
Give me something fresh, Jez.
Exactly, Jez. You've been doing this for years now. Write something new. Yeah, you still play all the classics like Drop It Like It's Hot,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
And James Blunt, You're Beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Imagine. Do you think he crowd surfs?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he shoved up 2 fingers to the establishment.
Really?
Actually, James, you said something really interesting the other day about Jeremy Corbyn.
Oh yeah, he drew the second biggest crowd Glastonbury's ever had after the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll go to number 1 in the charts now?
Well, his greatest hits.
Yeah.
Well, he's already written some amazing songs, clearly. You're beautiful.
I think it's pretty cool nowadays how easy it is for us to access music.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something we probably take for granted and we don't really think about it.
But I mean, we grew up with cassette tapes. We didn't have CDs when we were little, and then we definitely didn't have streaming music. So we've experienced quite a lot of the different changes.
Yeah, one of my first memories of like listening to music is having a cassette tape, dancing to 5, 6, 7, 8 by Steps.
Nice. Yeah, what's funny about those though? Do you remember Walkmans came along?
The CD Walkman.
Yeah, CD Walkmans.
We all had one.
Yeah, before that, CDs were for your car or your computer, or you'd have like a big boombox.
Yeah.
But then Walkmans came along, so you could listen to music on the move while you're walking. But you'd have to hold it like it's a plate of soup or something. Like you weren't allowed to spill it. Otherwise the CD would skip if you just moved the Walkman very slightly. So everyone was walking around like they were robots.
It's crazy how much technology we've gone through, like cassette tapes, CDs, and now MP3s.
Yeah. I didn't really think about it while it was happening. You just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, but do you think when someone came up with the iPod,
yeah,
like they'd just be like, "This is mental. Like, it's
didn't-
never going to work."
You must have heard about Sir Alan Sugar said that the iPod would never catch on.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why? It seems like such an obvious thing. Obviously, it's dying out now.
Yeah.
The iPod, but
I think because we're so used to it, the idea of it, like we grew up with it, it's easy for us to, and because we've adapted with technology so easily, it's easy for us to go, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
When you've kind of come from physical things, they've obviously gone, no, it's not going to work.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think maybe that kind of relates to things to do with like album artwork and stuff. They kind of go, well, if you can't see it, if you can't physically hold it,
Then it might not mean as
purchase
much.
it.
Yeah. So I guess you're right. Obviously, vinyls have taken a comeback now, haven't they? People seem to like vinyls.
Yeah,
again.
because people still do like to have that physical, like.
it's crazy because a lot of young people are doing it as well, and it's almost the nostalgia of something that they didn't really experience.
This might be me being a bit stupid, but I feel like a lot of young people buy it because it's cool.
Yeah,
as well to have vinyls.
I have vinyls because it's cool.
Because you have a vinyl player though, don't you?
Yeah. Well, in second year on my birthday, my housemates all bought me a vinyl player.
Yeah,
which was great, and
that's really nice of them.
I only go and buy them in charity shops.
And the difference is you play vinyls, whereas a lot of people will just buy them for like.
Yeah, so they're actually sitting down and listening to the song by putting it on, and doing the effort. There's something in that.
I like having the vinyl because I like the artwork. I like having it as like it is a piece of art.
So you have the vinyl because it adds something to the music. Yeah. That's why. So you don't just have it because it's another method of listening to music. You have it because the album artwork, I assume, that goes with it affects how you feel about the music.
It's nice to listen to vinyl sometimes, like especially old vinyl. I've got like a Fleetwood Mac Rumours, which crackles when you play it, which I quite like.
That's quite cool. Yeah.
But it's frustrating that you can't flip it where you have to flip it.
Well, supposedly vinyls are higher quality than MP3 is.
Yeah, I think it's meant to. Everyone says it sounds better.
Yeah.
But now you can get like certain like lossless formats, which will be like
almost exactly the same. Yeah. I assume it's something to do with when it converts from the formats from digital and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think so. But I think it's cool that we do listen to as much music as we do, like genre-wise, that we can just easily access it. It's like back in the day, like my mum or like our parents, they'd have to go out and they'd only hear what they heard on the radio, or maybe what their friends had given them, or what they heard in the shops. They couldn't necessarily be open to as much music as we are.
Yeah, because I remember talking to one of my uncle's friends, and he said at their school, the white kids would listen to things like ABBA and stuff like that, and then the black kids listened to rap music.
ABBA and rap.
The weird thing is Earth, Wind and Fire was the only thing that they both listened to.
Really?
So at like school dances, they would play Earth, Wind and Fire because they were the only things that both the races would listen to.
That is interesting.
What school did you go to?
My uncle's friend.
All right.
It's just interesting how things like that do cross over. There is that kind of commercial bands every now and then, but there was this whole like mod rocker thing as well in the like 60s, 70s. Like the Who and Rolling Stones, or even one or the other. There wasn't really this. You couldn't really like both. It wasn't cool to like both. Whereas now people have kind of relaxed a lot more. It's not.
Well, I think
snobby
because we can access all this different music now. You're not dictated by what's on TV or what's on the radio anymore. So you don't have this feeling of I have to be one thing or the other because there's so many options now. You can't afford to be one thing or the other.
And I think it's making bands like risk more interesting because they're getting all these kind of different genres and people listening to hip hop, dance, and putting it all together. And I think that's what's really exciting.
Yeah,
keep hearing these like sound bites on like radio or articles saying that like guitar music is dying, which really pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real basis to it.
Yeah, it just seems to be a cool thing to say. There's no rock bands anymore. It's like, well, no, they've evolved.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a different type of music.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But I think at the same time, I don't think rock is a mainstream as it used to be. So, for instance, when we were little, Red Hot Chili Peppers were in the charts, and nowadays that wouldn't really happen.
Yeah, that just seems crazy, doesn't it, to think?
Different. I mean, Arctic Monkeys are a child band. Everyone.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. But I feel like they are a different type of rock nowadays.
Yeah, they're more indie.
But that's just the way things evolve, isn't it? It's just like obviously in the 90s you had grunge that kind of just catapulted. In the 60s you had punk that kind of just set fire to the way that people.
But what I'm trying to get at is I don't think rock is fashionable.
Okay.
I think that's the issue nowadays, and that's why it's easy to say things like guitarists are dying out. You shouldn't play guitar anymore because house music's massive now.
Yeah.
So you don't even need to know how to play an instrument to make songs anymore. Well, I call them songs, but
that's quite interesting as well. That people are more likely, like labels, more likely to sign DJs than bands these days because DJs cost so much less money. And you can just put them in a venue, and all they need is. Sometimes just an iPod.
There you go. Yeah. See, they've cut down on my 3 people in the band, just one guy now. That's clever.
Just you and an iPod.
That's what I need to do. I just pre-record all the music. And I just go and put the iPod on when we played.
Works for David Guetta.
It's true.
But I think rap seems to have done like really well for itself in the sense that it kind of keeps evolving. I did see a thing, someone said that they think rap's the one like true kind of genre that will keep evolving.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? Where did it start?
It originated in like the late 70s, 80s in New York, in the projects, because you had like punk happening at the same time, New York Dolls, all these white guys on stage singing about their problems. And then guys started like DJing just because it was something to do for like street parties. And then they needed hype men. So they had MCs, and then they started like coming up with poems and raps and rhymes.
Okay.
So you started off with Grandmaster Flash, Grandmaster Melly Mel, and then you started to originate into hip hop. And it was just a really interesting way of them expressing themselves, because obviously slavery has ended, but it's just people aren't happy with their situations. They're being bogged down in these projects where all these affluent white people are looking down on them. And it was just a way for them to express themselves, and it still is. And that's why I think it is such an important genre of music. Just keep evolving. People keep going back to this idea that although they are free people, they're still being fucking put down by
Yeah. And as you said, though, as it's developed, it has changed. And I feel like a lot of old rappers, like if Biggie was still around and Tupac, if they looked at what rappers were doing now in the mainstream, they'd probably be disgusted by some of it. I don't know, I'm not speaking on their behalf, but they rapped about real things, whereas now rap songs can be like, I'm in the club and I'm getting drinks with the bitches. It's cool. Bitches love my dick because I'm rich.
That's Ricky's hit single. Bitches love my dick, I'm cool. Of his new album. The thing with Biggie and Tupac as well is that they were gangster rap. They kind of...
Yeah, so I guess a specific genre,
like this is the thing, in such a small period of time, you had like the 80s where people were just kind of like rapping on jazz beats, like Tribe Called Quest. They kind of took this idea of like being African and being proud to be black and the motherland, and they were part of this group like De La Soul. They all kind of came together and really tried to access this heritage. And then you had people going into the 90s like Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z that were into gangster rap. Who were rapping about their problems. But the problem is the more famous you get,
the less that becomes relevant.
It's the same with bands in that sense as well. But it's like Jay-Z, who kind of came from just after Biggie, he can only rap about what he knows now, which isn't about...
Oh, he has 99 problems, and the bitch ain't one. Apart from now, he probably does sing that song again.
Well, I now respect rap a lot more. I think real rap, because I can kind of see the theme. It's always based on a concept or something that's happened to these people. Whereas you could say rock music could just be about anything. So,
but it's difficult because if you're a band and you're brought up in England and you have a good background... You're going to have to lie if you want to get messages across like that. Unless you're talking about something that's irrelevant from your actual life. Whereas these rappers were just talking about what happened to them.
And a lot of the time it was the only way that they could get out of the situation they were in is to rap. And it's just, and there's still so much like hate crime in America. It's so different to here that you just don't, I can't even fathom like what it's like to grow up in these situations, dealing with all this poverty and stuff. And I think for me, that's why Kendrick Lamar is probably one of the most important rappers that's around at the moment. You talk about like real rap, I guess you're saying instead of like Drake and chart rappers and stuff. And Kendrick Lamar's a really interesting case because he is like a chart rapper in the sense that he can get #1 albums. And he's consistently considered one of the greatest rappers alive, and yet can still do tracks with Taylor Swift and Maroon 5, which is quite odd.
The thing is, you have to be economically smart as well, and he knows that's going to make him a fuckload of money if he does those songs with them. So
collaborating with the right people.
And his rap, even though he's so famous now, he approaches it at a different angle, because he doesn't say this is what my life is. He says this is what my life was, and this is what people are still experiencing. So he doesn't lie in his rap about, I'm still in the projects fighting, and stuff. So it's still relevant.
And he tries to see it from like the point of view of people looking at him as this like rap savior.
Exactly, yeah.
And stuff, which is really interesting because he's bringing it back as an art form, which kind of got lost a little bit, I think, around in certain aspects. I mean, Kanye West does it in his production, using like little gems of songs you wouldn't necessarily know.
Yeah.
You see, I really like that about Kanye West.
Yeah.
Sampling the right song.
And that's because he's a music lover, and I think that's what's really interesting about hip hop and rap is samples are such an interesting game to get into. Samples all came about because of the DJs. They just have two songs together and they just start mixing it together. But what's interesting about samples as well is that De La Soul released an album that now can't be put online apparently because it's got so many samples that when they signed the sample release it was only for physical copies.
Really?
Yeah, it says in the contract all the things because they never thought there was going to be anything but physical copies.
Okay,
Because it was like the late 80s, so now they can't release it without having to do a new contract and signing. And obviously at the time, people didn't think samples were going to be a big thing. So they gave it away for pretty much nothing.
That's funny.
Whereas now samples will cost you fucking loads.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. As songs become more famous and they have samples in them, then the cost of samples, will go up as well. Yeah.
But now it's so important to get the right samples. It just kind of.
How does it work? Can you just pick a song and sample it and hope for the best?
No, but that's the thing. You have to.
You have to reach out to the owner of the original song.
Yeah, so you can pick a song and think sometimes as well. It might not necessarily be the band that own the rights. It could be the label that owns the rights, or like in. It might be slightly different with royalties, but I know Paul McCartney once had a famous chat with Michael Jackson where he said one of the best things you can do is to buy songs. Buy the rights to songs, you get loads of royalties. Because at this point, the Beatles had struggled with the royalty rights.
Okay.
So Paul McCartney was trying to buy a lot of the Beatles ones back.
From Michael?
No, Michael Jackson went out and bought the Beatles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
So Michael was out and was like, hey guys, I want to, get the Beatles songs, guys.
Exactly
Stuff like that, yeah.
But Paul McCartney was been furious that he had that conversation.
Did Paul not go see him about it?
I think he's trying to get him back now. I don't.
From Michael? Oh, well, Michael's dead now. So if he's trying to get him from Michael, that might be difficult.
Get him from his cold dead hands.
He had massive hands though.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's where he put all the samples.
He's like, this is gonna sound rude, but he looked like a transvestite because he kind of looked like a woman, but he had these huge hands.
I watched Michael Jackson fact.
All the Michael Jackson lovers out there. That's why he wore the glove.
Don't look at my hands.
My hands are so big. Tito, don't look at my hands, Tito.
You can look at me, not Tito.
I'm gonna buy some Beatle records. I'm gonna hide my hands.
Get out of here, Michael. Get out.
And now it's time for our frequently asked questions. So this first one comes from Frank Grimes from Springfield. And he asks, what song would you strip to and why?
Okay.
I'm a bit worried about why he wants to know. But
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's a good question.
What about you, Chris?
Me, I would probably choose... Okay, Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
It's just a bit sexy, isn't it?
As
opposed to my alternative, which would be Coldplay Fix You.
Is that a bit sexy?
No, it's very sad.
That would be the saddest striptease.
Oh yeah, it's pretty sad for everyone.
So you've just been crying halfway through.
But it's a very niche market and growing.
Harrowing for the person watching.
What's a niche market? Sad stripping. Go for.
You crying while taking your clothes off.
Or you're deadly serious and they're crying.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I don't know. Just pour some sugar on me. Def Leppard.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Get a big bag of sugar as well.
And actually pour it on you.
It.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So you take it from another angle.
Yeah.
That's good. I'd probably go, I don't know, probably something by Marvin Gaye or something.
Would you not be thinking of your dads?
Yeah, I know, that's getting weird.
No, not Marvin Gaye then. Not Marvin Gaye.
Daddy! Stop making me striptease for you. This is weird.
Quake themed striptease.
The sound of death and Marvin Gaye. Sex.
Oh dear.
Well,
So the second question
Second question.
comes from Susan Boyle.
Subo.
Yeah, Subo.
Susie B.
Huge fan.
And she says, if you could see one artist or band that no longer are around, who would it be?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So for me, I mean, there's so many people out there. Maybe Elvis, Johnny Cash, the Rolling Stones. But fuck it, I would go for the Pizza Underground just to see them finish the full set.
I mean, bearing in mind they left on the last song.
Yeah.
Just an extra 30 seconds.
But he needed that. Chris needed that extra 30 seconds.
I mean, you've got to use it wisely. You
Exactly.
only get one.
Exactly. Maybe Macaulay Culkin would have done it again if that lady who came to my first gig came up to him and went, you know what, you played percussion great at that gig. You
Really
know?
powerful percussionist.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine would be David Bowie, just for the lols.
Yeah, well,
the lols would be
incredible.
great.
That would be so good,
Yeah. Just, I love seeing a man dressed as a woman. What can I say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough though. He was good at it.
I've noticed that about you, James.
When I'm in the mirror, dressed as a woman.
What about you, Ricky?
Lost Prophets.
Okay, I think that's all we've got time for.
Yeah, I think we'll call it there then, guys. And just finally, we have a word from our sponsor, Wikipedia, and they bring us this fact today. In most cases, your favourite song is your favourite song because it's your favourite song.
It's a great
You
fact.
know what? That is very true.
Yeah,
learning a lot
I think I
today.
always thought that though.
Why is this your favourite song? It's just my favourite
My
song.
favourite song.
Learning a lot. Wikipedia. Thank you.
I love how they always get it so right.
I just
so,
bang on the
dead
money.
on.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever need any factual information, it's the first place I go.
Wikipedia.com/org.uk.
When I'm writing all of my essays and articles, always go to Wikipedia.
Which is weird because you work in a bar, so I don't know why you're writing all these essays. But
About being in a bar.
yeah, fair enough. Well, guys, thank you very much for listening to this first podcast of the season.
Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think. Like, share, subscribe on all the relevant platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And it's goodbye from me, James.
It's goodbye from me, Ricky.
And goodbye from me, Chris.
And goodbye from me, Michael.
Michael!
Get out! We told you to leave!
We let you back in.
Oh, God, stop it.
You can't stop me.